Hi guys, welcome to McKola TV. This is the Manchester United against Wigan preview. Yes, United against Warren Joyce's Wigan at Old Trafford in the FA Cup. Fourth round. Now, I always look forward to the FA Cup. This week there's been a lot of talk about whether teams are at full strength, how many players are getting dropped or rested, how many younger players are playing, the bigger teams not taking it seriously, yada, yada, yada. Now, obviously, teams need to make changes. You have to make changes. You have to utilise your squad in this modern game. With the money that is in the Premier League now, obviously, that is everybody's priority. But I still think there is something in the FA Cup. I love this competition. Some of my favourite memories down the years have been in this competition. And although Manchester United have been criticised and people have said we've disrespected the competition over the years, I think that's an absolute myth. It goes back to the year when we won the treble and then we were asked to play in the Club World Cup. So Alex Ferguson asks if he can field a reserve team in the third round of the FA Cup because he wanted to play in that Club World Cup. At the time, the FA wanted us to compete in that competition. They wanted United to be in the Club World Cup. And as they were going for the World Cup, to bring the World Cup to England, so they thought it was good for their package, for their advertisement of the game in the country. Now, obviously, it didn't go to plan for Manchester United. We got knocked straight out, but that is besides the point. United wanted to play in both competitions, and we couldn't. So that is a total myth about Manchester United pulling out and choosing the Club World Cup over the FA Cup and disregarding it. And even if we did, over the years, recent years, our record in the competition has been half decent. We've been to a couple of finals. We've won it twice since that time in 1999. Well, 1999/2000 when we didn't compete in the FA Cup. And of course, I just love this competition, man. Whether we rest a few players or not, I love the competition. Now, we welcome Warren Joyce's side to Old Trafford. Now, they are languishing in the relegation zone in the Championship, but of course, they aren't one of the better teams, so they're expected to be around there. Warren Joyce came in. He's doing some good things there as well. And of course, they've won their last 3 games, some difficult games in that as well. I think against Brentford. Wigan, they're not the worst side. Warren Joyce is a very good coach. Tactically, he'll have them well drilled. Of course, they haven't got the quality there that you would expect them to have. Familiar faces returning of Nick Powell. I think Raval Morrison trains with them at the moment as well, but he won't be in the squad. And so there'll be a few familiar faces back at Old Trafford, but Wigan are a side that whether we play a full 11 or we do play a fringe 11, we bring some players in that haven't had opportunities, we should be beating this side, whatever team we put out. Jose Mourinho in his press conference has already confirmed that Sergio Romero will start this game, Luke Shaw will, and Anthony Martial will also be involved in this game, which is absolutely fantastic news. Now, the treatment or whatever's been going on with Anthony Martial over the last couple of weeks, to not see him in both matchday squads, and particularly against Hull as well, a game where I thought he was going to start. And then you're hearing all the murmurs of, Anthony Martial, he was in Paris. Why is he in Paris when United have got a game? Now, I know Jose Mourinho didn't have an issue with that, and that's great to hear. And he's come out and cleared the air and told people exactly what is going on, which is absolutely great. But at the time, I was thinking the worst and I was fearing the worst because Anthony Martial is a player that I really do value and we need to get the best out of him. It's also great to hear Zlatan Ibrahimovic has had a little word with him, and I'm sure Jose Mourinho knows just how much talent Anthony Martial has, and I'm sure he's doing this for the better of the player. We've seen it with Mkhitaryan. We've seen Luke Shaw obviously come out of the side as well. Jose Mourinho may be giving them a little bit of tough love to get the best out of them. And that's what Manchester United need. We need to raise the levels at this club and of the team and of the players that are starting week in, week out. And if that means, offending a talented player every now and then, but eventually they turn around and they want to fight for it. You're hearing Anthony Martial wants to stay at Manchester United, is happy here. Then that's exactly what needs to be done. And I'm glad Jose is doing that. Getting everybody working hard for their spots. Telling people that you're not going to be guaranteed a place if you don't do X, Y, and Z, what the manager demands of you. I just hope, though, that he doesn't take the flair and the extravagance and the little bit of, unpredictability with these guys out of them, because that would be very disappointing. But, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the treatment of them so far, and it's obviously working. And I expect Anthony Martial to put in a fantastic performance on Sunday. I really hope he does anyway. So what would my 11 for the game be? It would be as follows. So Romero is obviously starting, Shaw at left back. I want to see Timothy Fosu meant to get a game. Now, I don't think he's going to start in midfield here, but stick him in at right back, please. I want to see him. If he doesn't start, he needs to come in at some point. Then I go with Rojo and Jones at centre half. Yes, Bailly is coming back, but he's not back just yet. We've heard talk about Axel Twanzebe, but I can't see Jose starting him just yet, and maybe he'll appear on the bench. Then in the midfield, I'll go with a midfield two of Herrera and Pogba to keep that the same. Mata ahead of them in the number 10 with Martial and Rashford either side with Wayne Rooney up top. That's how I'd go for this game. I do not want to see Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Michael Carrick playing this game. Wouldn't be surprised if Jesse Lingard starts. I'd be absolutely delighted with that if he does start ahead of Rashford. But that's the 11 I would go with. Now, prediction for the game. My prediction for this game is 4-0 Manchester United. You remember down the years when Fergie was the boss and I think Paul Jewell was their manager. They've obviously had other managers as well, but Paul Jewell's the one that sticks out into my head. We used to beat them 4-0 all the time. And I would really love a comfortable victory at home for Manchester United. If we can get a 4-0 win, keep a clean sheet, get a few goals, go through to the next round, and it's comfortable. The winning returns. Now, obviously, we lost against Hull. We went through overall, so it didn't matter. But we've lost that unbeaten run, and we need to start and go on another one again. Starting with Wigan here. Then we got Hull after. As Jose says as well, Anthony Martial, if he performs against Wigan, he'll start against Hull. And I think Anthony Martial will. I'm going to say he's going to get a goal or two this game. So I'll go Martial first, goal scorer. United 4, Wigan 0. You guys get your score predictions and your preferred 11s in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Adam McKola TV as well. I'll have so much more over the weekend from the game. Of course, the reaction straight after the match from Old Trafford. And the day after, I'll have the Aftermath Live and everything else in between. The latest FIFA videos up as well. So go and check that out. There's so much more on Adam McKola TV at the moment. I hope you're enjoying all the new content. I'll have so much more coming your way. But for now, I'm Adam McKola. I'm out of here.